For the past 6 months, I have been traveling around the Spanish-speaking world. For the first time in my life, to have a no-end date travel experience and also to learn Spanish. Before starting, I felt so stuck in my life and had doubts of whether I would even like this new lifestyle. So what did I learn during those past 6 months? It all started in the end of 2021 December when I flew to Spain.
It's our first night in a van and
I started living with my partner Joe on 6 square meters. What could go wrong, right? The first night living in a van, we got stuck on the beach. After a few hours of unsuccessful digging, a tractor came to rescue. We drove all the way from Barcelona to Malaga, seeing some beautiful beaches and hills for the evenings and mornings. Visited my Moroccan friend in Almeria, some more beach and some Spanish desert where they used to film westerns in Europe. I nominate Joe for the villain role, snowboarded in Sierra Nevada and also ran out of cooking gas in those mountains. Open fire cooked burgers were the highlight of our culinary skills. The bed did not like them as much though, since we managed to burn a hole in it. Ronda was also a beautiful town. Very windy though, but not as beautiful as the hills around it. Is it productive to live on 6 square meters while in a new relationship? Well, then we flew to the Caribbean, Dominican Republic. Punta Cana was pretty much a tourist trap and we did not enjoy it. Going to La Romana and finding out that the most beautiful beaches are completely empty. Yoga every morning routine was started. Honestly, I sucked at it at first. On the island of Saona, where they filmed Pirates of the Caribbean, children serve rum cocktails. I could not complain at all. Saw the most romantic sunset and saw the same empty beach, but full of trash. Too little tourists around to be worth to clean it apparently. In Bayahibe we did our diving certifications. Thank you for the new and expensive hobby I fell in love with. And those nice fishies starring in this episode. Couch surfed in Santiago. Hey Danielson, jumped off of waterfalls and visited our first carnival. No naked ladies though. Then to the jungle part of Dominican Republic. Saw some humpback whales in Samana. Became an even bigger and more dirty hippie than before. And after 85 braids in 14 hours, I said goodbye to shampoo. Las Galeras had some lovely hikes, where we were told not to go. We went anyway, and got lost as expected. And then got some rain, but made it through the jungle to the rock pools and hungry seagulls. Sang on the beach of Las Terrenas, but my performance anxiety kicked in hard. In Santo Domingo we couch surfed with a local Dr. Ramon. Saw my first cenotes and police picked us up because it was apparently dangerous to walk in the street. Going to the airport at night, Uber drivers made some disturbing moves. Instead of $15 as on the app, they asked for $50 because it was cash payments only anyway. So after 40 minutes of bargaining, one of them finally accepted the ride. Then we separated ways and I went to Sint Maarten to give an Erasmus Plus training. And Joe went to Costa Rica. Sint Maarten was expensive, but nevertheless I tried jet skis. Can't say I wasn't scared at first. Then hiked and got lost again. But the island is so small. During the zip line called the Flying Dutchman, I wasn't allowed to film. This was my solution to the problem. The leadership training went well and everybody was now ready to be a CEO. Guatemala was a big surprise. Antigua was our first stop to check out the volcano where we were gonna hike. From 0 to 4,000 meters, I felt like an 80-year-old. But we made it. The volcano was gorgeous, but going to sleep while cold, having a headache and potentially only 3 hours of sleep was not the highlight. The sunrise was though. Then we spent 3 weeks at Lake Atitlan in a hippie village called San Marcos. Yoga, cacao ceremonies, dances, and exploring this lake on a stand-up paddle surf. Our most expensive tour of $350 was the Mayan pyramid called El Mirador. 5 days in the jungle to see some rocks. Very impressive rocks though. Unfortunately the donkeys were a bit rough on my bag and both of the handles were ripped after this trip. Tikal also had some rice rocks on top of each other. And I couldn't overlook the fact that Mayans sacrificed humans on those temples. How would today's humans function in an ancient civilization? In the year 500, Peru was bigger than we expected, and getting to a city with no roads connecting it to the rest of the world, but 500,000 people living there? Yes. A 3-day slow-boat journey on the Amazon to Iquitos with pink dolphins accompanying us was totally worth it. And very fresh chicken for my birthday breakfast. In Iquitos on the market we tried suri worms, small ones tasted like coconut, alligator and turtle's eggs. The last ones tasted like a conflict of ethics and local traditions. In the jungle we saw some spiders, frogs, snakes and many monkeys, some up close with a loss of personal snacks, and a cute sloth. Some spiders were more close than others and loved our jungle kitchen. Then we headed to Cusco to see Machu Picchu. But that could not happen either without a 5-day trek. Again, I had to admit that altitude was not my friend. But the Incan city, Machu Picchu, was lovely. Almost as lovely as our group of travelers. People who lived on water were my favorite though. They had made their islands out of lake grass and were floating on Lake Titicaca. Best sleep I ever had, and under 7 blankets. How much stuff do you really need to be happy? Bolivia was our last destination. Joe climbed the 6,000-meter mountain while I had a spa day in La Paz. Understood once and for all that self-care is a nice investment. If you don't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? A quote from RuPaul's Drag Race. Then we biked the Death Road. I have had 3 bike accidents in my life, but Death Road was not one of them. Saw a lot of salts in Uyuni and experienced the cold nights on 4,500 meters. Joe sends recommendations not to lick the walls of salt hostels. But Toshi made me a bit sad, since the miners have bad health and well, I am a doctor. But maybe if I spent 12 hours underground every day, I would also drink many alcohol, smoke cigarettes and instead of food, chew coca leaves? After all, don't we make our own choices, even though sometimes the options are more limited for some. During those 6 months, I realized how little we actually need to be happy. For me, the most memorable places were the ones which were very inaccessible and quite empty of other tourists. And even though this lifestyle seems wildly untraditional and risky to quit a safe and secure home life, I would do it again. If you enjoyed this video, click here for some other adventures. Thank you for watching and see you next week. Bye.